Hey everyone, my name is Adam. Today I'm going to show you how I clean my 40-gallon turtle aquarium. I know a lot of people struggle with keeping up with these animals, and I kind of purposely just let this get to here just so I can make this video. A lot of people don't like to keep them, mainly because they are a lot of work. They get very messy very quickly, and ideally, you don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So today I'm going to show you how I clean this 40-gallon tank in about 30 minutes or less. So to start, I'm going to get my materials, which I use. So my room is only about 20 feet or so away from my bathroom. So I drain my water directly from the aquarium into the bathroom. You could either do the bathtub or your toilet, whatever works for you. But I used a 20-foot strip of vinyl tubing at 1/2 inch in diameter. I also use a 2.5-gallon bucket, which is generally just so I can bring extra water from my bathroom into here, into the aquarium to help lift up the biomatter if I don't get it all in the first go. And then I also use this little white pitcher, does the same exact thing, and it helps just kind of get water from small, hard to reach areas, just a little bit easier. All right, to start, this is my turtle. I've had her about 9 years now, 10 years now. Got her when I was very little. I was only about 9 or 10 years old. Ironically, I named it Timmy. I didn't know it was a female at the time. Kind of learned that a little bit later down the road. And ever since then, I've just called her Timmy because why not? Also, it's kind of weird to rename an animal after it's been called something for 4 years. So anyway, carrying on from that, she's a red ear slider. I got her at a pet store. Nothing too crazy, but yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything set up. I'm going to run my vinyl tubing from here all the way into my bathroom over there, and then I'll start the siphon process. All right, so now I'm going to show you how I set my setup up. So what I like to do is I like to get, it's just kind of, I leave about, I'd say it's probably 2 feet extra into the aquarium. I don't know why this log keeps floating away, but it's getting really annoying. So anyway, what I like to do, since I'm a one-man band doing this, is I'll take that, I'll run my vinyl tubing into the log. Just kind of helps it from rocks getting stuck into the tube and slowing down the process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down. This is a little current maker right in here. It just makes weight, or it pushes current through the tank and just makes the tank a little more lively looking and a little more naturalistic. So what we do from here is I filled the tube all the way up with water, and how we're going to keep it, or how we're going to start it anyway, is generally how a siphon works is you put water into the tube, and as long as the inflow of the tank is higher than the outflow of the tank, once you get that first initial movement of water through the tank, it'll continuously pull itself. So what I'm going to do to get that started then is I'm going to pick it up about 3/4 of the way to the tank, and I'm going to lift it all the way up. And as you see, we drop back down, there goes the water, and then it goes into the toilet, and it'll automatically drain itself after it gets too full, because toilets do that kind of thing. Anyway, so for the next, I don't know, probably 30 seconds or so, it's going to be a time lapse of how I personally clean this out. I'm going to keep bringing buckets of water in, and that, and then after that, I'll check the filter, see if the filter needs to be changed. Otherwise, we'll fill it back up with water, and then that'll be that. All right, quick update. So this has been going for about 5 minutes or so. I've already added 2 buckets of water into it. And I'm just going to keep repeating that process over and over again until the water looks fairly clear, or I drain all the water out and I don't see any biomatter sitting at the bottom of the tank. Right, and so as we get closer to finishing taking all the water out, I just like to make sure that I keep pouring water in the furthest end of the tank, which is going to be this side, because that's going to push all of the biomatter that's trapped down there down this way towards the siphon, and that obviously is going to be taken out, gone into the bathroom, and then that's going to get disposed of. But as we get closer, it's just kind of time for evaluation. Kind of helps you like look out, see if there's anything wrong with the tank. I live out in the country, so I run off of well water. That's why you see a lot of all this stuff, is it's just a lot of lime buildup, which is harmless to this animal. Definitely if you live in the city, kind of want to make sure that the water is okay. I know turtles are very hardy animals, but sometimes the not toxins, but the chemicals that cities put in waters, it can kind of, you just want to make sure that it's not going to harm the turtle in any way, as we are responsible for caretaking of these animals, making sure that they're able to last for a very long time. And yeah, we just try and do our best here. All right, so now that that's done, this is where we got. It's almost a total water tank. There's just about a quarter to a half an inch of water left in the bottom. And if you don't get all of the biomatter out of the bottom, that's all right. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. Obviously, we still have a filter there in the corner, which should be responsible for getting the rest of that out that you don't get in the first time. So now that we have that done, we are going to be refilling the tank with clean water. I generally put water in here about probably 70 degrees or so on average temperature. Just helps kind of mimic their natural environment. These turtles are from the Mississippi River. You can find them anywhere in ponds, lakes, upper Mississippi, lower Mississippi, pretty much anywhere. One of the most common turtle species in the United States. And yeah, that's about the rough temperature of what is kind of recommended for these animals, and just kind of the easiest for me to kind of regulate. All right, it has been about 5 minutes since I finished cleaning up the tank. I've refilled it. I've put about 20 to 25 gallons in, as this is a 40-gallon tank, and they recommend roughly half the tank be full for these animals, just so they don't crawl out and whatever. And as I said before, there's going to be just a small amount of biomatter that gets missed. Not a big deal. It's not going to hurt the turtle at all in any way, shape, or form. Actually, right now, she just kind of looks a little hungry. She's just searching around. But yeah, this is what the tank looks like now that it is much cleaner. You can definitely see in there a lot better. You can see her a lot better. And ultimately, it just looks a lot better. So what I like to do is after I'm done, I like to move the little current maker that I told you about earlier. I move it up towards the surface, and it just kind of creates this little ripple effect. Like I said, it looks a little more natural. And then also, hopefully, within the next week or so, me and my dad we're cutting down a tree in the backyard. It's a mulberry tree that's got a fairly large trunk on it. So what I'm hoping to do is take a big chunk of that and then put that in the tank as well. It's just going to make that even look a little more naturalistic, as obviously, I mean, this is all right for now. I've got a little bit of river rock down there in the bottom. There's a little bit of limestone back there that I found in the garage downstairs. And this is what you're going to get at any turtle or pet store, wherever you go. They're always going to recommend that you get just a floating dock. This log, I used to have fish in here as well, this little one right here. But this is where she actually normally basks, but I don't really like the look of it. I think it looks kind of cheap. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to bring a big chunk of wood in and I'm going to put it there, and it's going to be more of a natural basking spot for her. But anyway, yeah, I started working at the project around 4:50, 4:55 or so. It is now 5:22. So as you see, under 30 minutes. Super nice looking aquarium. Again, obviously it's not ideal. You really want these animals to be outside, but they are definitely able to live inside. Mine has done it for about 10 years, like I said before. But yeah, this is how you ultimately clean the aquarium in about 30 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe if you like these kind of things. I'm gonna keep doing stuff with this turtle. Hopefully go out, find turtles, go to museums with that have turtles. I'm just gonna kind of be learning along this journey with you guys. And yeah, thanks for stopping by.